the topic. So what exactly API is? API is nothing but it stands for Application Program Interface. So it is like I meant to say, for example, as of now, I have given some example in restaurant. So when we order some food, uh, waiter will take the order. So and then it goes to the kitchen, the order, and the chef or everyone prepares our food, and then they deliver back. Our waiter will deliver back uh, the food to our table. Similarly, in software programming, uh, APS will work in the same way when we give certain type of parameters in the API. API you can directly refer as URL. So, for example, www.google.com is an URL. So when we search for some thing like, for example, what is today's cricket score or current affairs. So by default, in the backend, there will be some call to the server. So similar kind of stuff. So what we are ordering, uh, for example, Google is our waiter. We are ordering something like what is the current today's match score. For example, there is a cricket match happening. So it will go back with our request, and then it searches for the whole internet. So there will be some Google API call, and then it returns the result. Whatever we ask, it returns the result. Similarly, just for example, we have taken Google, but there will be multiple depends on our requirements. There are multiple APIs. Uh, so how we integrate with in Python is the main thing we will be looking at. So in Python we have one module called request. It is a default module. So generally maximum of the time we use REST APIs only. Mm. So maximum of the time it will be kind of URL kind of stuff. Uh, So when we run that URL, we will get some data in the browser. So instead of you directly hitting opening the browser and then hitting that URL inside the browser and getting that, instead of doing all that, you don't want to open the browser, you just want the data what it is returning, and use that data in our in a program, for example. So uh, I meant to say again the Google search only. So we don't want how it searched the data what we asked for. We just want the result. Whatever what is the request we want, what is the response it has given. Similar kind of stuff. So for example, so this is open IIS this one like API. So this is their official documentation, International Space Station. So every time we use this, so this is the output. So it will be in whenever we run in browser, but actually the latitude longitude will change. So the timestamp also will change. So again, just I'm refreshing. So if you see, there is a slight movement. So the ISS will rotate very fast around the Earth. So we will be checking how exactly the ISS will be doing. So we have given what ISS is. So ISS is nothing but the International Space Station. Uh, because mm, I meant to say you might have seen in a few scientific movies, or maybe when you saw the ISRO launch, the International Space Station is there where it actually uh, have certain parameters or limitations. Whatever we launch into the space, uh, it should be tracked by ISS as well. They will be tracked by ISS as well. So, but those are actually multiple agencies. For example, NASA. So Russia's RASCOMs, Europe's ESC, and Canada's CSA. So even ISRO is part of that, but it's just a contractor. It's the main five nations are only this one. So they have their own API. So at which position we want? So they have that say, detailed what is the actual International Space Station. So this is actually live data. Whatever we are seeing is the live data. So every second it updates. So now it got changed. The longitude, latitude now got changed. So these are the microseconds which are changing. So it's like, so this is actually UTC timestamp. So we are not that. And for example, if there is any data issue, because we are using a URL. So for example, I'm removing S and I'm just typing. Now we will get some web page not found error, HTTP error 404. So these are one of the important topics we need to check what exactly the errors are. So here we have detailed links for hit the API, we will get the response codes. So if it is 200 response, it is actually the URL is working perfectly fine. But if there is any 404 error or 504, 505, or sometimes the server will be down. Most of the time when we try to book that call, and we will see this 505 error, frequent 504 or 505 error, 502 mainly bad gateway error also. So we are not here. Actually, we are not giving any data in the parameters. I meant to say we are directly using the API, but because it is public, but few APIs will require API key that we will discuss maybe in next class. So, but as of now, I am hitting here. It is giving me data, but because we want to see exactly where the ISS position is, so there is one website where if you give the latitude, the longitude, and give reverse. For example, if you see here, then I'm just zooming out. So it is actually at Africa. As of now, our ISS is near to Africa. Sorry, not Africa, USA I think. So this is Africa, right? So this is South America. So this is one of the things. So as of now, what we did, we just hit the URL in the browser, and we got what is the ISS position, longitude, what is the longitude, and what is the latitude. and then we again go back to this reverse geographical geocoding. Then we just checking where exactly it is. So when we retry again, now the position got changed, so it might move up or move down. So we don't know whether how it will take. It will rotate in eclipses. Now this is the one. So instead of opening browser every time and we don't want, so we have the request module in Python. So where as of now we discussed the status code, right? So whenever we hit the status code, so if it is uh, 202 200, it is actually successful. So just Python. So here I am using the same URL whatever we have used. So just I am doing what I am doing. I am importing a request module and URL, and what I am getting get so what the get method is nothing but it's I am saying you open the browser and then put the URL and get the whatever the data it is returning give to me. So the get method, because here and we are passing what the URL it should open. So in the background it does the same thing whatever we did by opening browser and hitting keeping our API URL into the browser and getting the data. Similarly, our request module it does the same thing. So here what we are saying. So if this is the another method, so this is a default request method. Uh, so for example, whenever there is a typo error or the URL is down or the server is down, uh, generally we do the try and catch blocks, right? So here the request module is providing us directly uh, the similar kind of stuffs, only it will raise an error when there is an exception. Otherwise, it will go to the direct data. So we are just using this rise for status method directly instead of rewriting the code again. We are just using whatever already written and whatever is already available. So you can see more usages on this. So even we have authentication. So like we need as of now we are using free API where there is no API key. Otherwise, we should pass API token because only few APIs will work only if you pass the token. Then only it's like accessing the data who is what because it is sometimes there might be bank API where you can actually hit the bank API and get our account number, account details. But if it is public, everyone can access, right? So to limit that limitation, so only every user will have their own API key. Only then the user can access that API and then get the data whatever we are getting. Now what we are doing, we are actually converting our data into JSON format, and JSON is again nothing but like we are storing the JSON format. I want to say here because we are giving the JSON. So we are storing that in JSON, calling that JSON method you can say, and we are storing that in data variable. And then again, how we are accessing using the I meant to say key value pair. So if I go back, so here message is key and success is the value. Here ISS position is the key, and even inside that ISS position we have another two keys, longitude and latitude. So how we are accessing using the keys in ISS position key, what is the longitude, and same in ISS position key, what is the latitude. Just print, I'm printing that print latitude. Same. So when I run this, so here if you carefully observe, we are just hitting the data like a URL using request module instead of we every time opening browser and going there. So let me check how. So in browser, what is the data, and here what is the data we are getting. So it's almost 4.4 like minus 12.10. So it's almost similar because it moves very fastly. We are actually getting even in microseconds the longitude and latitude will change. So this is one of the example how we can use the data. So similarly, there will multiple things like where we can get the codes. For example, motivational codes. There will multiple APIs available, and even ChatGPT API is available. Similar kind of stuff. You can use it in our code, and we can integrate that AI in our code using this request module. And whatever user asks, we can actually hit that ChatGPT API using OpenAI, but we need to register and we need to get all the API keys, and then we can just send the response. So instead of you are typing in browser ChatGPT open, so if you don't want, you just want it to in our programs some code or some backend, you don't want to display just the data you want, or what is the user request and what we can get. So here we can use the request module. So yeah, so we will see tomorrow how to send SMS using Twilio API. Uh, might so it's similar kind of way to SMS before we used to have. We will be checking on that how we can send a message SMS using Twilio API to one number to another number, and that requires API authentication. So because it's not free, maybe it's having only 5 messages per day limitation. Yeah, similarly, as you said, there are when APIs we need to use with token authentication only maximum of the time until unless it is not sensitive information. We can use it as a public without API key. So this is again, we'll be sharing all this, so you can just check again. So now where our let now where it so again I just it is showing where it is. No, it is actually Africa. Before, if you see here, before, just before it is to South America, now it went into Africa. So it is moving in this direction. So this is one of the, this module is one of the very important module going forward, because for any web development, or we will be using this request model frequently. It's like full stack development, you can say, in Python. So building a website using API calls and then HTML and CSS. We will be building one website, portfolio website, you can say, using all this. And, that's it for today. So we'll be sharing, just updating links. We'll be sharing this.